Investing in the future, 7 key infrastructure projects under China's Belt and Road Initiative with $1.3 trillion budget. Introduction to the Belt and Road Initiative (BRI). Launched in 2013, China's Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), also known as the New Silk Road, aims to enhance global trade and stimulate economic growth across Asia, Europe and Africa through a vast network of infrastructure projects. With a staggering estimated budget of $8 trillion and an actual expenditure surpassing $1 trillion by 2023, the BRI is one of the most ambitious undertakings in modern history. It encompasses a wide array of projects including railways, highways, ports and energy pipelines, focusing on creating interconnected economies. Recent developments and financial overview. As of 2023, the BRI has witnessed significant financial engagements with approximately $92.4 billion allocated to 212 new projects, marking an 18% increase from the previous year. Cumulative investments reached $1.053 trillion. Split between $634 billion in construction contracts and $419 billion in non-financial investments. Notably, there has been a marked increase in investments in green energy and technology, aligning with global sustainability goals. Key infrastructure projects under the BRI. 1. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC). The CPEC is a flagship project of the BRI designed to connect Gwadar Port in Pakistan to China's Xinjiang region through a network of roads, railways and pipelines. Estimated at $62 billion, this corridor aims to enhance trade and economic cooperation between the two nations. Despite its potential, CPEC has faced criticism for leading Pakistan into a debt crisis, raising concerns about the sustainability of such large-scale investments. 2. Railway projects in East Africa. China is heavily investing in railway projects across East Africa, particularly the Standard Gauge Railway (SGR) in Kenya. This project connects the port city of Mombasa to Nairobi and is intended to enhance regional connectivity and trade. The SGR is part of a broader initiative to establish a trans-African railway network, which is crucial for landlocked countries in the region. However, the project has also encountered issues related to cost overruns and debt sustainability. 3. Trans-Siberian Railway link. China's investment in the Trans-Siberian Railway aims to facilitate trade between China and Europe. This project includes upgrading existing rail infrastructure and creating new links that enhance the connectivity of Siberian resources with Chinese markets. The initiative is expected to significantly reduce transportation times for goods, boosting trade efficiency. 4. China-Laos Railway. The China-Laos Railway, a $6 billion project, connects Kunming in China to Vientiane in Laos. It is designed to be a critical link in the BRI's Southeast Asian corridor, facilitating trade and tourism. The railway's completion has been celebrated as a significant achievement for Laos, although concerns about debt and economic dependency on China persist. 5. Gwadar Port development. As a key component of the CPEC, Gwadar Port is being developed into a hub for trade and energy transit in the region. The port's strategic location allows it to serve as a gateway for goods entering and leaving China and South Asia. This project not only aims to enhance maritime trade but also seeks to attract foreign investments into Pakistan, boosting the local economy. 6. Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Rail. This high-speed rail project in Indonesia, financed by China, aims to connect Jakarta and Bandung, significantly cutting travel time. The $6 billion project reflects China's growing influence in Southeast Asia and highlights its commitment to infrastructure development in the region. However, the project has faced delays and financial challenges, raising questions about its viability. 7. Kyrgyz Gateway. The Kyrgyz Gateway, located on the China-Kazakhstan border, serves as a dry port and logistics hub, facilitating trade between China and Europe. This project is part of a broader strategy to enhance connectivity along the ancient Silk Road routes. The gateway is expected to play a crucial role in streamlining customs procedures and reducing transportation costs. Regional focus and financial implications. Africa as the primary recipient. In recent years, Africa has emerged as the largest recipient of BRI investments, surpassing the Middle East. In 2023, investments in Africa increased by 114%, reflecting China's commitment to supporting infrastructure development on the continent. Notably, sectors such as technology and mining have seen substantial investments, particularly in electric vehicle battery production and lithium mining, which are pivotal for the green energy transition. Debt concerns and criticism. Despite its ambitious goals, the BRI has attracted criticism for allegedly creating debt dependency among participating countries, often referred to as a debt trap. Countries like Pakistan and Zambia have faced significant financial challenges attributed to BRI-related borrowing. Analysts emphasize the need for transparency and sustainability in project financing to mitigate such risks. Geopolitical implications. The BRI is viewed as a strategic maneuver by China to extend its influence globally, challenging the dominance of the United States and fostering economic ties with developing nations. In response, the U.S. has initiated programs like the Build Back Better World B3W to counter China's infrastructure investments. Though it faces challenges in matching the scale and scope of the BRI. Conclusion. China's Belt and Road Initiative represents a monumental effort to reshape global trade and economic dynamics through a vast network of infrastructure projects. While it offers significant opportunities for growth and development, concerns regarding debt sustainability, environmental impact, and geopolitical ramifications underscore the complexities associated with China's expanding influence. The future of the BRI will depend on the ability to navigate these challenges while promoting equitable and sustainable economic partnerships. The Belt and Road Initiative BRI, launched by China in 2013, has often been viewed as a monumental opportunity for infrastructure development across multiple continents. However, there are several counterintuitive aspects regarding the initiative that run contrary to the commonly held beliefs about its benefits and implications. 1. Debt trap diplomacy versus economic growth. While the BRI is touted for fostering economic growth through infrastructure development, many participating countries have found themselves ensnared in significant debt. Critics assert that China is using debt as a tool for geopolitical leverage, leading to accusations of debt trap diplomacy. This perspective challenges the narrative that BRI projects are purely beneficial for host nations. For instance, countries like Pakistan and Zambia have faced severe economic crises, partly attributed to their borrowing under the BRI framework. The expectation that infrastructure investment would automatically lead to economic uplift is often misleading when the financial burdens become unsustainable. 2. Environmental sustainability concerns. Although the BRI has seen increased investments in green energy and technology, the reality is more complex. While reports highlight a surge in investments in renewable energy, nearly half of BRI expenditures have historically gone towards non-renewable projects, including coal-fired power plants. This contradicts the narrative that the BRI is a leading force for global green energy transitions. Moreover, despite pledges to cease international coal projects, certain agreements have continued to materialize, raising doubts about China's commitment to environmental sustainability. 3. Regional disparities in investment. The BRI's focus has shifted dramatically, with Africa emerging as the largest recipient of investment, overtaking the Middle East. This trend contradicts the expectation that the initiative would prioritize regions traditionally seen as more economically developed. The significant increase in construction contracts and investments in Africa, 47% and 114% respectively, highlights a strategic pivot that may not align with prior assumptions about where Chinese investment would flow. For private sector dominance versus state-owned enterprises, the narrative surrounding the BRI often emphasizes the role of Chinese state-owned enterprises (SOEs) in executing projects. However, recent reports indicate that private enterprises are increasingly taking the lead in investment projects. This shift could suggest a more complex landscape where market dynamics and competitive pressures are driving Chinese companies to engage in BRI projects, challenging the notion that the BRI is solely a state-driven initiative. 5. Geopolitical strategic interests versus economic objectives. While many analysts view the BRI as a tool for China to extend its global influence, this perspective overlooks the genuine economic motivations behind the initiative. The BRI's engagement in sectors like technology and mining, particularly for materials crucial to the green transition, e.g., lithium for electric vehicles, reveals a dual strategy of securing resources while promoting geopolitical interests. This multifaceted approach complicates the binary view of the BRI as merely an imperialistic venture. 6. The role of local governance and acceptance. The assumption that all BRI projects will be welcomed by host countries is increasingly challenged. Opposition has arisen in several nations due to inflated costs, lack of transparency, and the perception of exploitation. For example, Malaysia's former Prime Minister initially campaigned against BRI projects, highlighting the complexities of local governance and public sentiment that can impede the successful execution of BRI initiatives. 7. Investment quality versus quantity. The sheer volume of investments attributed to the BRI can obscure the quality and effectiveness of these projects. There is a growing concern regarding the long-term viability of BRI projects, as many have been criticized for poor planning, execution, and maintenance. This reality challenges the notion that high investment levels will necessarily translate into successful infrastructure that benefits local populations. 8. Global competition and response. The emergence of initiatives like the US-led Build Back Better World B3W as a counter to the BRI illustrates the competitive geopolitical landscape. However, the limited financial commitments under B3W relative to the scale of the BRI expose the challenges faced by Western nations in countering China's influence. This dynamic may lead to a re-evaluation of how global infrastructure needs are addressed, suggesting that the competition may not always yield favorable outcomes for developing countries. In conclusion, while the BRI is often framed as an opportunity for global development and economic growth, several counterintuitive dimensions reveal a more nuanced reality. The interplay of debt sustainability, environmental concerns, regional investment dynamics, and geopolitical strategies presents a complex picture that challenges simplistic narratives about the initiative's benefits and goals. In analyzing the extensive report on China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI, several crucial elements often overlooked by the general public are highlighted, which are significant in understanding the broader implications of this massive infrastructure project. 1. Debt dependency and financial structures. One of the most critical yet often understated aspects of the BRI is the nature of the financial arrangements imposed on the participating countries. The initiative has been criticized for creating a debt trap scenario. Countries like Pakistan, Malaysia, and Zambia have experienced severe debt crises exacerbated by BRI-related borrowing. Many observers fail to recognize that the financial mechanisms accompanying these projects often involve non-transparent terms, which can lead to inflated costs. This is significant because it raises questions about the long-term economic sovereignty of these nations. As they incur more debt to fund these projects, they may have less room to maneuver economically, potentially leading to political instability and reduced public trust in governments that participated in such agreements. 2. Geopolitical strategy versus economic development. While discussions around the BRI typically focus on its potential for fostering economic development, the geopolitical implications are often glossed over. The BRI is not merely an economic initiative, it is a strategic maneuver by China to expand its influence globally, particularly in regions traditionally under Western influence. This duality is significant as it shapes international relations and can lead to tensions between China and other powers, notably the United States. The rise of initiatives like the US's Build Back Better World B3W program illustrates the competitive geopolitical landscape fostered by the BRI, which is often not fully appreciated in mainstream discourse. 3. Environmental sustainability efforts. The report indicates a notable shift towards investments in green energy and technology sectors within the BRI framework. However, many commentators overlook the nuances of these efforts. While there is an increase in green investments, the legacy of coal projects and ongoing investments in non-renewable energy remains substantial. This dichotomy is significant because it reflects a broader challenge facing global efforts to combat climate change. The commitment to green projects can be undermined by continued reliance on fossil fuels, complicating the narrative of the BRI as a sustainable initiative. Moreover, the potential for these investments to be overshadowed by coal projects can lead to skepticism among international observers regarding China's genuine commitment to environmental sustainability. 4. Regional disparities in engagement. The report highlights Africa as the largest recipient of BRI investments, which has surpassed the Middle East. This shift in focus is often overlooked, especially regarding the implications for global trade and economic development. The significant increase in construction contracts and investments in Africa suggests a strategic pivot that could redefine China-Africa relations. Understanding this change is crucial because it reflects China's growing influence in a continent that has historically been a target for Western investments. This could lead to new economic alignments and dependencies which may reshape not only African economies but also global trade dynamics. 5. Technological investments and the green transition. The surge in technology investments, especially in sectors like metals and mining relevant to electric vehicle battery production, marks a pivotal shift in the BRI's focus. This transformation is often overlooked in broader discussions about the initiative. The emphasis on securing raw materials for green technologies indicates a strategic outlook that intertwines economic development with global sustainability efforts. This is significant as it positions China as a key player in the global green transition, shaping the future of industries critical to combating climate change. 6. Impact of global events on BRI engagement. The report notes the disruptions caused by global events such as the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical tensions, including the Russia-Ukraine war, which have impacted BRI engagements. The decline in projects in certain countries and fluctuations in investment levels are critical points that often receive insufficient attention. Analyzing how global crises influence such a vast initiative is significant for understanding the resilience and adaptability of the BRI in the face of external pressures. 7. The role of private sector enterprises. Another important yet frequently overlooked point is the increasing participation of private sector enterprises in BRI investments, particularly in 2023. This shift signifies a potential change in the dynamics of how BRI projects are financed and executed. The prominence of private companies such as contemporary Amperex Tech CATL and leading investments highlights a diversification of stakeholders involved in the BRI. Understanding this evolution is significant as it may lead to more competitive practices and innovation in project execution, potentially enhancing the overall effectiveness of the initiative. Conclusion. The Belt and Road Initiative is a complex undertaking with multifaceted implications that extend beyond mere infrastructure development. The critical elements highlighted above, debt dependency, geopolitical strategy, environmental sustainability, regional disparities, technological investments, global event impacts, and private sector involvement, are essential for a comprehensive understanding of the BRI and its global ramifications. Recognizing these aspects can foster more informed discussions about the initiative and its place in the contemporary geopolitical and economic landscape. For most valuable points for in-depth analysis and discussion on China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI. 1. Financial dynamics of the BRI. The BRI's financial landscape is marked by significant investments and increasing project engagements, which are essential for understanding its global economic impact. As of 2023, cumulative engagements have surpassed $1 trillion. With $634 billion allocated to construction contracts and $419 billion in non-financial investments. The year 2023 alone saw approximately $92.4 billion in new deals, an 18% increase from the previous year, reflecting a growing commitment to infrastructure development. The emphasis on investments in green energy and technology sectors indicates a strategic pivot towards sustainable development, which is vital in the context of global environmental challenges. Furthermore, the shift to private sector participation and the diversification of investment types underscore the evolving financial strategy of the BRI, which may have implications for future global investment trends. 2. Geopolitical ramifications. The BRI is not merely an economic initiative, it is a strategic maneuver by China to extend its influence across the globe, particularly in developing nations. This aspect of the BRI raises significant geopolitical concerns, as it positions China as a counterweight to U.S. dominance in international affairs. Countries participating in the BRI often face dilemmas regarding sovereignty and economic dependency, leading to accusations of debt trap diplomacy. The initiative has sparked responses from the U.S. and its allies, who have attempted to counter the BRI's influence through initiatives like the Build Back Better World B3W program. Analyzing the geopolitical dynamics surrounding the BRI provides insight into how infrastructure investments can reshape global alliances and economic relationships. 3. Environmental sustainability and transition. The BRI's engagement in green energy and technology sectors has emerged as a key theme, particularly in the wake of global climate change discussions. In 2023, China's investments in green energy represented the highest levels recorded since the BRI's inception, with significant funding directed toward renewable energy projects. However, ongoing investments in coal and other non-renewable energy sources raise questions about the initiative's commitment to sustainability. Critiques of the BRI often highlight the environmental consequences of large-scale infrastructure projects, necessitating a thorough examination of the balance between economic development and environmental stewardship. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for evaluating the long-term viability of BRI projects and their alignment with global sustainability goals. 4. Debt dependency and economic risks. The concern surrounding debt dependency among BRI participant countries remains a critical issue. While many nations view the initiative as a pathway to economic growth, the accompanying debt burdens have led to crises in countries like Pakistan, Malaysia, and Zambia. The potential for these nations to fall into a cycle of dependency raises important questions about the BRI's sustainability and the risks associated with foreign investment. The ongoing discourse about debt restructuring, transparency, and the financial implications for participating countries is vital for comprehensively assessing the BRI's impact. Analyzing the economic risks associated with BRI investments highlights the need for robust frameworks to ensure financial sustainability and equitable partnerships. Conclusion. The Belt and Road Initiative represents a multifaceted approach to global infrastructure development with profound implications for financial markets, geopolitical relations, environmental sustainability, and economic stability. By focusing on these four key areas: financial dynamics, geopolitical ramifications, environmental sustainability, and debt dependency, stakeholders can engage in meaningful discussions regarding the long-term impact of the BRI on the global stage. Here are three famous historical cases that are similar in nature to China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI, particularly in their focus on infrastructure development, international trade, and geopolitical strategy. 1. The Marshall Plan 1948–1951. After World War II, the United States launched the Marshall Plan to aid the economic recovery of European nations. This initiative provided over $13 billion, equivalent to about $150 billion today, in economic assistance to help rebuild European economies. The plan aimed to prevent the spread of communism by stabilizing these nations through economic support, thus establishing strong political allies. The Marshall Plan focused on infrastructure projects, including the rebuilding of railroads, roads, bridges, and factories, which played a critical role in revitalizing Europe and establishing the U.S. as a dominant economic power in the post-war world. 2. The Silk Road 2nd century BC, 14th century CE. The ancient Silk Road was a network of trade routes that connected the East and West, facilitating not only the exchange of goods such as silk, spices and precious metals but also cultural, technological and religious exchanges. Established during the Han Dynasty of China, the Silk Road exemplified how infrastructure like roads and caravanserais underpinned trade and diplomacy among empires. The road's influence helped shape the economic and cultural landscape of Eurasia, similar to how the BRI aims to enhance global trade connectivity and foster relationships between participating countries. 3. The Suez Canal, completed in 1869. The construction of the Suez Canal was a monumental engineering project that connected the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, significantly shortening the maritime route between Europe and Asia. It was instrumental in facilitating trade, allowing ships to bypass the lengthy and perilous journey around Africa. The canal was a feat of infrastructure investment driven by both economic interests and geopolitical strategy, as control of the canal meant influence over international shipping routes. The canal's strategic importance led to various conflicts, including the Suez Crisis in 1956, reflecting how infrastructure projects can become focal points of global power dynamics. Akin to the geopolitical implications of the BRI. These cases illustrate historical parallels in how infrastructure initiatives can serve not only as economic drivers but also as tools of political influence and strategic alliances. Investing in the future. Predictions for China's Belt and Road Initiative (BRI). As we look ahead to the future of China's Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), several key trends and predictions emerge from the current trajectory of the initiative, its financial underpinnings, and its geopolitical implications. 1. Increased focus on sustainable development. China's recent shift towards green energy investments indicates a strong commitment to sustainable development within the BRI framework. By 2024, it is anticipated that investments in renewable energy and green technology will significantly increase, making up a larger portion of the overall BRI budget. The emphasis will likely be on projects that promote energy efficiency such as solar and wind power, as well as electric vehicle infrastructure, responding to global calls for climate action and sustainable practices. 2. Geopolitical realignments. As the BRI continues to expand, it will likely reshape geopolitical alliances and dependencies. Countries heavily reliant on BRI funding may find themselves increasingly aligned with Chinese political and economic interests. This could lead to a rebalancing of power in regions such as Africa and Central Asia, where China's influence is growing. Conversely, nations wary of becoming too dependent on China may seek alternative partnerships, as seen with U.S. initiatives like the Build Back Better World (B3W) and the EU's Global Gateway program, aiming to present viable alternatives to BRI projects. 3. Technological integration and innovation. The BRI is expected to increasingly integrate advanced technologies into its infrastructure projects. Investments in telecommunications data centers and smart city initiatives will likely dominate future engagements. By 2025, we can expect Chinese firms to lead in deploying technologies like 5G and artificial intelligence in BRI countries, enhancing connectivity and efficiency in trade and logistics. 4. Debt management and financial reforms. While the BRI has faced criticism for creating debt dependency, China is likely to adopt more flexible financing models in response to these concerns. This may include debt-for-equity swaps, which could alleviate financial burdens on participating countries while securing Chinese interests. Enhanced transparency and collaborative financing mechanisms involving international partners will also be essential to mitigate the risks associated with sovereign debt crises in BRI countries. 5. Diverse investment portfolio. The diversification of investment sectors within the BRI is expected to continue. Beyond traditional infrastructure like roads and railways, future projects will increasingly incorporate technology, healthcare, and education, contributing to a broader developmental agenda. The focus on sectors critical for the green transition, such as lithium and battery production, will also play a significant role in shaping investment strategies. 6. Regional variability in engagement. The future of BRI engagements will likely be characterized by regional variability. While Africa has become a major recipient of Chinese investments, other regions may see fluctuating levels of engagement based on diplomatic relations and local economic conditions. For instance, countries in Latin America and Southeast Asia may experience a rise in investments as China seeks to strengthen ties and diversify its economic partnerships. 7. Impact of global economic trends. Global economic conditions, including inflationary pressures, supply chain disruptions, and geopolitical tensions, will influence BRI investments. As countries navigate economic recovery post-COVID-19, there may be a renewed focus on infrastructure as a driver of growth. However, potential economic downturns or shifts in global trade policies could also pose challenges for BRI projects, necessitating adaptive strategies from Chinese investors. Conclusion. The Belt and Road Initiative is poised to evolve significantly over the coming years. With a strategic focus on sustainable development, technological innovation, and diversified investments, China aims to solidify its role as a global economic leader. However, navigating the complexities of geopolitics, debt management, and varying regional dynamics will be critical for the BRI's success. As the global landscape continues to shift, the BRI's ability to adapt will determine its long-term impact on international trade and development.